Thanks so much for tuning into the trade setup with me, Niraj Shah, and penultimate day of the opinion polls. It'll be very exciting. By the way, US markets were far from being unexciting. Amongst everything else, the big news, the biggest news of the last 12 to 24 hours, and the first up on my global news flow, Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts in the hush money case. By the way, mind you, scanning upon all that I read in the global papers, he can still run for the presidential election, but now there are headwinds for that, depending on all that I've read. Too long to get into that, but just read up more on this if you're interested. Asian stocks have risen as the US momentum slowed, raising hopes of a rate action. Not that it showed in the US markets, but Asian markets are higher for sure. What else? There is US crude, which has fallen as the gasoline demand is soft, again, because of the weak US data. Tokyo inflation has picked up, keeping BOJ on track for a rate hike. So that's the other piece. And while China is a very good rally, they've recently seen some significant outflows from ETS to the tune of $4.2 billion. And that's kind of led to a bit of a sputter in that China rally as well. But in today's session, China and Hang Seng, Shanghai, Hang Seng are being very active. Nikkei is active as well. And Asia is doing this despite the fact that the US markets did not give a very good handover. But as a result of that Asian screen uptick, the Nifty implied open for now in the green. Let's wait and watch if it stabilizes here or do we see a bit of a pullback. Keep in mind, Nifty is now at a very crucial support of 22,500. This is where most people are saying the Nifty could bounce back. My personal view is that there will not be too many large positions taken ahead of the exit polls. So be mindful of that. I think people are a bit scared now because of the market action in the last 3-4 days. Usually Mr. Market knows something. Is this Mr. Market telling you that, oh, could the political outcome be not something that the market is already factored in? Let's wait and watch. By the way, so the trade setup. I think the one positive for our markets as we are trading at around 22,500 is that the MSCI rebalancing could actually lead to circa $2.5 billion worth of flows into India today, and that might have a bit of a positive impact. Some bit of it was seen in banks yesterday, by the way, already. So that's the first piece. Two, FI data of yesterday includes 3 block deals, so to be kept in mind. We've seen some fairly large FI selling in the last few days, but a lot of it is also happening because there is large FI selling. Like, for example, in yesterday's session, TPG Asia sold a significant chunk in one of the companies and RR Kabel. And therefore, all of that has to be borne in mind when you look at the FI data. It's not just pure secondary market selling that is happening or just basic secondary market selling that's happening. While private banks look very strong yesterday, the Nifty Private Bank Index was up 0.32%. It's very difficult to call it a trend because this has been an ebb and a flow, if you will. Just that if there is MSCI rebalancing-led inflows that come in, maybe 1 or 2 private banks could actually hold fort, and that's to be kept in mind. The other problem for market yesterday was IT and what IT did, and IT shorts have gained momentum. Remember, for the series gone by, the max OI in the series gone by has been on the short side in IT, and no wonder that that index has looked very, very, very skittish in the series gone by, and yesterday was a key down day. Maybe it is expiry led. Don't see any fundamental reasons why this should happen. May bounce back today as well, but keep in mind that there's a lot of shorts on the IT side for sure in the May series, and could be interesting to see how June shapes up for IT stocks for sure. Okay, what about stocks to monitor in the session today? I'll start off with BDL or Bharat Dynamics. So revenues were in line, up just about 7%, but the trick happened in the margins. Look at the margin performance there. 37% versus 23%. The expectations were 27.6%. Extremely strong margin show, as a result of which the profit number way above estimates. 289 crores, the estimates were 190 crores. The actual number was 153 crores in the corresponding quarter last year. Usually stocks in the PSU space, defense space, which have beaten estimates, tend to react positively. BDL doesn't have the revenue run rate for it, but the margin performance and the bottom line performance very strong, could react positively. Apollo Hospitals, very strong numbers, but I think exactly in line with estimates, so therefore can't say that there'll be a large reaction. Revenues up 14.9% at 4,944. The expectation was 4,945. How spot on was the poll of estimates out here. Margins at 13% versus 12.9, again spot on, as a result of which the bottom line number at 258 crores The estimates were 265 crores. Boy, the analysts got it right in Apollo Hospitals for sure. So very strong number, by the way. The reason being the healthco company, the healthco's losses have been reduced as expected, as a result of which the numbers have come in. So a 77% uptick in PAT is very strong. May react, but just keep in mind it was exactly in line with estimates. What will not do well are two stocks. Welspun Corp, the first one. Revenues were up 9.6%, very good, but the margins collapsed. Actually, no, I won't say collapse. That word I'll use for the next stock. In this case, the margins cracked, 7.4 versus 10.3%, and the bottom line up 19.7% at 287. Now, you'll wonder why this happened, because there was a large component of an other income, if I'm not wrong. Other income was at 178 crores versus 91 crores, as a result of which the bottom line number looked okay. Swan Energy, revenues up 50%. You would think, wow, what a blowout set of numbers. Hold your horses. The margins completely collapsed. 8.4% versus 25.5%, as a result of which the bottom line was down about 10%. Yes, 10.6%. So I would argue that the market will not like the margin performance, and the stock therefore may react negatively despite a 50% uptick in PAT. So bear that in mind. You know, the cost of materials for Swan has just increased in H2 FY24 versus H2 FY23. I think that was the reason why Q3 also was skittish and Q4 has looked so wobbly on the margin front. Watch out for this one. Some other non-result boys. So Geo Financial, this company's unveiled the Geo Finance app in a beta version. May react. Usually app-based movements are difficult to predict. Let's see if Geo Financial has an uptick. If it does, you know the reason why. Suntech Realty is going to raise about 2250 crores through an issue of equity shares. So watch out for this one. Again, may react positively. Maybe. I think the interesting one was the con call from Amara Raja. Happened post-market hours. Some key takeaways. They've started assembling lithium battery packs and manufacturing chargers as well, and giving it to some key components, by the way, in the two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and the industrial segments. I think the clients include a Mahindra, Omega Seki, Indus Towers, etc. More importantly, they've said that a small lithium-ion cell manufacturing facility with 2 gigawatt capacity will come on stream very likely in FY26. 1 year from now, a capacity will come on stream. The 10-year plan is to take it higher to 16 gigs. I think the market will like this because they're investing in futuristic technology, something that India wants. I would reckon that Amara Raja might get rewarded today. Watch out for that one. Cummins, which was a top loser yesterday, again might get rewarded. Who knows? Nomura has raised the target price to 3470 from 3040. Cities raised the target price to 4384 versus the earlier target of 3519. So most brokerages have raised the target price, and therefore what can easily be said that Cummins will not have a similar reaction. I think in all probability, because of the strong margin performance as well, and that brokerages have raised the target price, maybe, just maybe, Cummins might actually react positively today. Lastly, speaking of brokerages, Morgan Stanley note on Prestige. They've retained overweight rating. They've raised the target price to 1770. The current price is 1538. Strong pre-sales outlook that Prestige has laid out is a key reason why, and the outlook is driven by strong launch pipeline and ready inventory. They've highlighted some risks as well, but the target price uptick may just result in some bit of a positive for Prestige as well today. So watch out for that one. Well, thanks for tuning into the trade setup. Remember, I've said this multiple times in the comment section. Please leave any messages that you may have on how we can improve on this. It'll be great if it's interactive. Would love to hear from you guys. But as usual, thanks so much for tuning in the trade setup. See you on air on the television show.